We're back with part 3, guys. Parts 1 and 2 will be in the playlist linked down below. So we're going to get into part 3. We're going to see, oh, holy shit, I just noticed this man's fucking Trump shirt. Holy shit. Anyway, we're going to see what part 3 does. Let's go.
My next surrounding claim is that Doge was a complete and total failure.
Ooh. I forgot Doge existed.
You're pretty quick.
Dude, this fucking... Like, what the fuck was that run, bro?
Philip?
Thank you, sir. It's an honor and pleasure.
Good to see you,
Thank you
brother.
so much for having me. Yes, so the claim being that Doge was a complete and total failure, I have difficulty imagining that that's
Oh, God. He fits the stereotype, bro. He went like this, fucking did the lean in like this shit. Oh, my God. He fits the stereotype.
true because, and I am coming at this as an anti-statist. I'm a very strong proprietarian, believe in private property rights. But I will say I read all these stories and I expect they're at least somewhat accurate, that the U.S. State Department was running global programs all over the world for, all kinds of absurdities, like they were promoting transgenderism in places like Nigeria where the people clearly don't want it. The people
Holy fuck. Anyway, 2021 President Joe Biden signed memorandum, okay, Jesus, entitled Advancing the Human Rights of Lesbian, Gay, Bisexual, Transgender, Queer, and Intersex Persons Around the World.
Nigeria are often very conservative. They don't agree with this stuff. They're promoting. Well, they were doing it through like education programs, primarily.
Pursue an end to violence and discrimination on the basis of sexual orientation, gender identity, or expression, or sex characteristics, and to lead by the power of our example in the cause of advancing human rights of LGBTQ, I hate that word, IA plus persons around the world. Okay, what makes that bad? First of all, what does that have to do with Doge? And second off, what makes that bad? But let me go back.
In places like Nigeria where the people clearly don't want it. The people of Nigeria are often very conservative. They don't agree with this stuff. They're promoting. Well, they were doing it through like education programs, primarily targeted at younger university students because they're trying to take hold of the
The United
youth.
States government was funding
The State Department, yes.
transgender
Yeah, like
programs
gender ideology education programs. They were
gender
trying to
ideology.
teach. Yeah,
Oh, wait a minute. A 2024 job posting for a security escort position in Nigerian U.S. Consulate General. Applicants were told that the U.S. mission in Nigeria supports diversity, equity, inclusion, and accessibility, and that all genders are welcome to apply. Oh, okay, so I don't see the issue with that, but shout outs.
they're trying to teach people in the third world stuff that came out of the Princeton faculty lounges, like there's 74 genders and things of that.
Nigeria criminalized same-sex activity as well as gender expression of trans people in 2013. So it just sounds like America was just like, hey, let's not like criminalize people for something that's not a crime.
So there's a class that's funded by the United States State Department.
Oh, in Pakistan,
teaches
in
that the
Afghanistan,
74
in Nigeria. Yeah, these deeply conservative cultures that the Ivy League educated people that run the U.S. State Department, they want to convert it into an Ivy League faculty lounge. That's what they want to do. So, they spread all this cultural Marxist, propaganda all over the world. And they try to, the core goal of it, the end goal is to undermine the family, is to undermine traditional family and traditional faith. That's their goal. So they want to do that in places that are very conservative and family-oriented, like Nigeria, and, well, I mean, Pakistan might be family-oriented in the wrong way.
Why do you think that if this is true?
But I bet you if they did the same shit and talking about like we're gonna pass a law so where Christianity is the one true religion, I'm sure nothing would be said about that, right, guys? We wouldn't say anything about that though, right? Right.
Why do you think that they would want to do that?
Well, because the end goal is to undermine the family and to undermine traditional faith. Because if they make it so that the
So
younger
the United
generations-
States government was trying to undermine.
Absolutely. Oh, the United States government historically, like I would say, for at least since at least the beginning of the Cold War, if not even before that, they've been some of the chief promoters of cultural Marxism and policies and ideologies and philosophies that are designed to undermine traditional faith and traditional family throughout the world. Oh yeah, absolutely. No, the U.S. government overwhelmingly, especially for the past probably 3 generations of Americans, it's overwhelmingly been a force for global evil. Really, it's an evil empire.
That's really interesting to me because the last time I checked, I think the Doge was created to cut spending in the United States.
Yes.
And what has happened, depending on who you ask, $7 billion, $2 billion, somewhere between there is that number.
It's a drop in the bucket.
Do you know what that total percentage of that is the United States budget?
Oh, it wouldn't surprise me if it's below 2%.
Like 0.1%.
Yeah, no. From a fiscal standpoint, it was certainly a failure. But what I'm saying is, from a culture war standpoint, I think there were some
when it comes
successes.
to cutting spending.
Wait. So you had to win the culture war before you had to win the saving money, getting more money award or war? Yeah. Okay.
For Americans in our country,
Right.
it was a complete and total failure.
Close to a total failure. Yeah, when it comes to actually cutting spending,
I guess then
Yeah.
we would agree.
on the fiscal level, yes, not necessarily on the culture war.
I'm glad we could agree.
Or not necessarily on the broader philosophical.
Because what
Don't worry, guys. Raise your facts faster. Raise them faster. He agreed with them. Raise them faster.
also happened as a result of this was spending. The Trump administration went and pushed even further wasteful spending. Like, for example, the $1 billion that they're about to spend or currently spending to rename the Department of War.
You know what?
The $1 billion that they're
You know what? Hold on.
went and pushed even further wasteful.
You know what? Hot take. She's a DEI hire right now. Because, like, granted, it's not just her. There's been multiple people who just been kind of sitting there. But every time the camera's on her, like, she's just intaking it. She's not like, I don't see any, like, emotional reaction. I don't think she's even gotten up yet.
Spending. Like, for example, the $1 billion that they're about to spend or currently spending to rename the Department of War. I would say that's a pretty wasteful group of spending.
Yeah, I would say it probably is.
$1 billion to retrofit a plane from Qatar.
Yeah, I mean, I don't.
That's pretty wasteful, if you ask me.
Republicans are very wasteful spenders too. They certainly are. There's no question.
I think we
about that.
agree.
We effectively, and you might even agree with this too, to a great extent, we have a uniparty in this country. The only real separation, I would say, between Republicans and Democrats is really on the culture war issues, and this is where Noam Chomsky was correct. He said that we've reached a
Here's this motherfucker again.
situation in America where the major parties have no choice but to run on culture war issues because economically, to a great degree, they're indistinguishable.
Well, what is true is that we see these mass increases to the deficit, and then, for example, the national debt when Republicans take office, largely because they blow a donut hole in the deficit by giving tax cuts to the richest people in America. I think that that's something that just needs to stop.
Well, I mean, I'm anti-tax and anti-status, so I don't think that anybody should pay taxes because I don't think that there should be taxes, and I don't think there should be a state that has to be funded by taxes.
You don't think there should be any taxes?
No, I think that society should be governed by voluntary private associations designed to protect private.
Did you fly here to Los Angeles?
No, I'm from around here, if you can believe it. So yeah, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Did you drive here?
I got driven here.
You got driven here
Yes.
on what?
Yes,
on
I did.
roads, right?
Oh yeah, no, I fully recognize that there's public amenities all around us, and that in some way
In
or
order
other.
for you to drive here, it takes what? It takes funding to keep the roads.
Well, yes, but I've been forced to pay taxes to fund the construction and maintenance of those roads.
The money has to come from somewhere.
Yes, it'll come from.
You've
Yeah.
voted out by the
Okay.
majority.
Thank you, sir. Yes, it's an honor and pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.
Damn, she was ready.
Hi.
You know what's so crazy? The second time around, I think this is so far the only time that I've seen it where there weren't like a bunch of people ready to run and jump through. I think like this claim is probably going to be like the most. What am I trying to? It's like the most like wait till someone else does it before I do it than all the other ones, right? Because all the other ones, like they had a strong feeling to, but I don't see any strong feelings towards what he's saying nor the prompt so far.
Good to see you.
So I know Gavin Newsom is the leader for the Democratic Party right now. That's who's going to be the nominee most likely, and everyone's super excited about him. But guess what? I live in California, where spending is out of control, and the fact that nobody wants to even look into fraud and everyone is burning down Teslas when Elon Musk was trying to help and he came in with good intentions is shocking to me. Gavin Newsom cannot find right now $24 billion that he spent on the homeless when actually...
It's not that he can't find it, he just doesn't know where it was spent. April 2024 audit found that California spent $24 billion over the previous 5 years to combat homelessness. The audit found state agencies had significantly deficiencies in tracking where the money was spent. Wait, so they just don't know where when they just said, oh, well, they got spent somehow, somewhere. I don't know where. Beats me. Holy shit.
They increased the homeless now by 20% because all they do is just keep building housing and hiring developers. These 2 developers now have been indicted because they've been spending all their money on Coachella tickets and Birkin bags, private jets, vacations, you name it.
Newsom acknowledged that the funding wasn't well tracked, saying it was difficult for the state to account for money spent at the local level. The total number of unhoused people in California listed in the audit increased from 151,278 in 2019 to 181,399 in 2023, a 20% increase. Okay, I mean, hey, she knows. She got fact checked and fact check correct. I mean, I don't really have much to say on that one.
Well, last time I checked, I'm not really here to debate the record on Gavin Newsom and what happens in California. I'm here to...
God damn it. Cody Holmes, the CFO of Shangri-La. This is fucking Call of Duty. Shangri-La Industries was indicted in October on charges alleging he embezzled more than $2.2 million to afford real estate, sports cars, travel on private jets, VIP passes to Coachella, in addition to the $250,000 in jewelry and designer handbags for his girlfriend. First of all, a huge fucking L. Second off, 2.2 mil for all that shit, bro. Like, no, it's just, I can't think of too much to say for that. That's just actually holy shit. And then on top of that, like I don't know. I'm kind of at a loss for words here. 1 second. Hey, shut up. Hey, shut up. Can you shut the fuck up, possibly?
talk about Doge and what has happened in the federal government.
His arrest was announced at the same time as the 44-year-old Stephen Taylor of Brentwood was charged with 7 counts of bank fraud, 1 count of aggravated identity theft, and 1 count of money laundering. My thing is, how the hell did they miss out on like money they were given? I don't get it. Still, we need to figure out what that has to do with Doge, but you already know.
And as a result of these policies, you've cut maybe 0.1% of the federal budget. Meanwhile, you've just gone and spent everything else. You now have, for example, like I said, $1 billion to rename the Department of War. You now have, for example, the fact that they're spending money, about $12 billion for farm subsidies because the tariffs were just that bad. So it's all a wash. So I don't really understand.
Well, nobody let him do his job,
how is it
Nobody
that you guys are actually cutting spending?
So he said that, Elon said that it was.
No one let him do his job. I think I saw this clip too because it got mentioned of who controls the House and the Senate, and it's Republicans.
Was somewhat successful, and the only reason he wouldn't do it again is because everyone burnt down his Teslas and tried to destroy his business that he started. 100.
If you bought a Tesla and you burn it, that's your fault. People burning their own vehicles isn't like making it so where it's harder for him to make a vehicle. They did that themselves.
I have a question.
$200 billion in zombie payments is what he
I
said.
have a question.
Yes.
Did you get your $2,000 Doge check?
From the tariffs?
From Doge as a
Which
result of all the
$2,000
spending
which-
that was
An idea that spawned from social media and eventually got in front of President Trump was a Doge dividend. Though Trump and Doge had Elon Musk express support for the measure, savings from Doge haven't hit their stated goals. Yeah.
supposed to
one?
happen. There was supposed to be a $2,000 Doge check. Did you get that?
No, but they haven't said anything about
Have
that.
they introduced something for that?
Who said that
Any type of dividend check would need approval from Congress, which obviously makes sense.
they were
Have
supposed
they?
to do that?
That's
I know
Elon
we're supposed
said.
to be
It said that
getting.
we'd be getting a check in the mail.
But no, but you guys went into this not letting him do what he came there to do.
So you control
Why
the
would
House
anyone want
Yeah.
fraud to be continued?
White
if it's
House.
when I
You
why I
control
brought up
literally
California
all
because
three,
it's happening in
and
this
you
government.
still
Why is it
couldn't
happening
get it
over there?
done?
What do you mean?
You control the House, the Senate, and the White House,
Okay.
and you still couldn't get it done?
How could anyone work like that? Honestly,
Having
you
all
guys
three?
did not let.
How can anyone work like that? I don't know. Why don't you ask Obama and Biden, who y'all fought tooth and nail over? Why don't you ask them? Because I'm sure they could give you an answer.
The guy
Having
do
the
anything.
House, the
He's a
Senate, and the
Nazi.
White House?
You villainized him.
You control it
24/7.
all.
It's
You control it all.
So what?
And you
so
still
what?
couldn't get it done with your people in
You
charge.
guys were doxing him and calling this guy big balls and going crazy about every single thing with Doge. Doge was literally vilified.
He's
But
like
we
flag
were
tag.
allowed to be audited by the IRS when Biden hired 80,000 IRS agents, the random regular
Let
people.
me ask you a question.
You don't, I'm sorry, but
How
if
does
there's
it- how
people
does a
doing
bill
fraud in
become
the
law?
government, you don't
How
want to
does-
know
how
about
does
it,
How does a bill become a law? Do you know?
goes through Congress.
And so then what? It has to go through both chambers of Congress.
Okay.
It has to go to the president.
Yes, and then he
Who
can
has the
sign off.
majority in the Senate?
We do.
Who has the majority in the House?
We do. But what
Who
does that
has
have to
the
do with
who-
Doge?
Who is in the White House? What party is in the White House?
The Republicans.
So it's almost like you can do anything you want. They
Yeah.
managed to pass tax cuts for the richest people in America, but they didn't manage to go get the checks that they promised the American
when
people.
did they promise?
So it's
the check?
almost
But
like
they're not.
I feel like the Discord mod in the back there is always like the first one to lift the flag up, but never the first one to try to get in the conversation.
That just
done yet.
didn't happen
But they're not
whatsoever.
even done yet. Honestly, the same way Trump got into office and everyone said, price of eggs, price of eggs. Within 2 days in office when the bird flu was around for 3 years before and no one said boo.
Because here's what's so interesting
nothing.
about conservatives.
Yes.
Is that you run on all of these different things, and then the second you don't do them,
Yeah.
you expect that people will not hold you accountable.
No
You
one's
did not
saying.
go and
Nobody's
do these
saying
things.
that. No.
And the reality,
I'm not. I didn't. Where did I say that?
Is that you walked around
Yeah.
and cut 0.1% of the federal budget, then you spent over that with wasteful spending, like for
I don't
example,
like
the
wasteful spending. I've never
billion
said that I
dollars
did.
that Kristi Noem is spending for
Guys,
a new
save it,
private
save it.
jet to retrofit another Qatari Air Force One. You can out
But
all
can
this
we
money
agree
to
on
do that.
something? Why? But
Gosh.
can we agree on something? Is it okay to vilify Doge and Elon and all this stuff? Why wouldn't you want to know? From the get-go, everyone went crazy about Doge and all that. Why wouldn't you want to know if there's fraud? I know if my entire state, we don't know where the money's going, our sidewalks are broken, there's potholes everywhere, all the homeless and our
I agree. I would love to know if there is fraud happening in my government. Absolutely. 1,000,000,000% agree. So once again, if he controls every part of the government, still can't get shit done about, knowing who's doing fraud and shit. I don't know.
trashing the street, graffiti everywhere. I don't know where my taxes are going here. I live here.
Well, then,
so
I
and
think-
he
I
is
think
your
that-
model.
I
You
think
got. He's
that-
going to
I
be the
think
running
that
for
you should-
president. That's your
I think
model,
that-
right? Not Kamala.
I mean, look,
that's your model.
I think
so.
you
I
should
don't
go
understand
and
why
talk to
wouldn't you
those
care?
folks in California.
I
But
do.
ultimately,
I do, and I get nowhere
I'm
with
here,
them. Everyone
I'm
is
here
committing
to
fraud.
talk about Doge. And the
Yeah,
reality
but why?
is that
did
Doge
you want
was
Doge to
a-
start? Did you want Doge to
I
start?
support government efficiency. Actually, I do. I think that
You-
if
did you
wait a second.
condemn the burning of the Teslas
Let's
and all
talk
that?
about it. Let's talk about this. I believe that government needs to be more efficient. I think that everybody
good.
should. Barack
So
Obama
happy
was
we
somebody
agreed on
that
that.
supported a lot of that.
Yeah.
But that's not what you did.
Why
You added
is-
more
why so?
bureaucracy across the board. You then meant to go and spend more money than you allegedly cut. You lied about the money that you were cutting
But
before
it's
you
only
got
been a
called out
couple
before
months of the
NPR.
administration. You guys, I wish you guys held the Biden
You fired Elon
administration
Musk.
into-
You fired him.
I wish you held.
You literally told
inflation was
Elon to go
transitory.
home.
Inflation
You
was
literally
transitory.
sent Elon
then it was
to go
out of date.
home.
Elon had to go home because no one let
So
the
then
guy.
he didn't do
You
the
wanted
work.
to destroy his. Okay, you guys don't let anyone do anything. Literally.
You control the House, the Senate, and the White House.
But that's irrelevant. Oh, so we can go back to immigration then, because why don't you guys pass laws on immigration after
You
4 years
literally-
of Biden when they told
you
us
literally-
they told
Guys,
us he
red
was
You
flag,
healthy
literally
and
faster,
did
faster,
not
faster.
go
sharp
and
as a
do
tack.
what you promised. You didn't.
But we're not done yet.
You fired Elon. He's gone.
Done. Thank you so much. Thank you.
I can't, bro. Yeah, ain't no one really getting up. There's starting to be some emotion to get them to actually come up, but yeah.
And Scotty,
right.
nice to meet you.
Scotty.
Yeah, so
Scotty
honestly,
Pippen.
yep,
over
come on
here.
now. Honestly, I kind of want to start off like, why was Doge even on this? Honestly, when we all saw the prompts, I went, what the heck? Nobody talks about Doge anymore, right? I think we both can agree, right, that I do think Trump shouldn't be spending those things on the Department of War, right? Shouldn't be spending all that money, right? But Democrats did the exact same thing. And when you look at Doge, the core of it was good. We're trying to get rid of government spending. That was the whole point, right? And so when you look at your prompt, can you say your prompt again one more time for me?
Doge was a complete and total failure.
Complete and total failure. Now, can I look at you and say Doge was a complete success? No, I can't, right? But your rhetoric when you say that prompt, right, is totally misguiding for us, right? What are we supposed to say to that, right? And now you
was
did say,
supposed-
right,
what
it
was
said,
supposed
what
to
was it,
happen as a-
0.1%
What was
that we were
supposed to happen
saved
as a
in.
result?
I don't exactly know the number
was
that they had
supposed to
said or anything, but we're supposed to cut government
they
funding,
say
right?
initial-
Did
didn't-
any government funding get cut?
Wait a
You
second.
said it.
Wait a
Did
second.
any government funding get cut?
No,
You said that
because you then spent more than what you cut.
0.1%.
You cut 0.1%, then you went and bought private jets, you retrofitted another Air Force One, you renamed
Okay,
the
that's
Department of War.
like- okay,
so it's
but-
almost like that's a wash. And I remind you, the national debt is set to increase this year by $2.3 trillion.
Okay.
So what
Okay,
is-
but where does that
and
money?
so by the way,
$1 trillion and you say like a $500 million jet, that's like paper money right there.
So that's what I'm saying. So the peanuts on the budget that you cut is literally already been absorbed by other things. If you made $50,000, this would be the
Okay.
equivalent of celebrating a $50 situation. I mean, so look, let's talk about what's happening in this country. Is that you guys ran on cutting $2 trillion. Then it turned to $200 billion. That's nowhere close to being reality. So that whole situation was a failure. If we're talking about Doge as itself, it didn't happen.
It did happen, right? We had Elon. What do you mean it didn't happen? It did happen,
didn't
right?
deliver on
now,
what you
did
promised.
it get exactly? No, I can agree with you, right? Did we cut $2 trillion?
No.
No, we didn't.
Did you cut
right?
$200
But
billion?
Trump tried, right? He ran.
He
on
tried,
it because
and he
saw
failed.
how bad Biden was at
tried,
the government spending,
he tried,
right?
and he
ran
failed.
there,
He
right?
tried and he failed.
I don't think it's necessarily a failure, right? When you try, like, does Trump have to be perfect in everything that he does?
He didn't even get to.
No, he doesn't have to be
fraction of what
actually
he
perfect,
said.
right? But it's the whole point of
But he
him
didn't even do
going
that
there trying
because
to cut government spending from
but
the
government
start.
spending increased. The government's spending more money than they did last year. That's according to the Treasury.
Well, okay, break that down then. Okay, no, but break that down, right? In terms
do you
of
mean break that
why
down?
though? But why is the government spending going up?
I mean, I'm just telling you, because if the whole idea was to go cut spending in the United States federal budget, that did not happen. It didn't happen. You're spending more.
Bro, motherfucking Cablicular over here just saying bullshit. Okay, that's a good pause, by the way. He's saying complete and utter bullshit.
I mean, I don't know what you want me to like say though, right?
I want
Because
you
your
to
prompt
just
from the
say.
start is dumb.
I just want you
Your
to say.
prompt from the beginning is just dumb.
And that can
Like,
be
none of us,
that,
like,
that
honestly,
can, that can be your
the
that can be
producer
your
asked us, like, who
argument
really wants to
all
talk
you
about
want.
Doge, and all of us, none of us.
That can be your argument all you want. That doesn't change
But
the
it
fact that
doesn't-
Doge was a complete and total
Okay,
failure,
but
and
the
you're here to
core of
debate
it was
me.
good.
And the reality is
Core of
that
it was
it failed.
good, right? We wanted to cut
Oh,
government
okay.
spending, right?
Wait a second.
Wanted to.
Wait a second. You tried to do it. So I guess you want a participation trophy, don't you?
Okay, so did Biden cut?
You
government
want
spending?
you want a
Did
participation
Biden cut
trophy?
government spending?
You
Did
want a
Obama
cookie?
cut government spending?
Type shit. Hey, we're all about everyone gets a participation trophy, right? Hey, let's give them a participation trophy. They tried it, bro. They tried it.
You want a
Did
cookie?
Bush cut government
What
spending?
was the deficit?
That's the problem.
What
Republicans
was the
want
deficit
less
under Barack
government
Obama?
control.
What was
That's
the
the whole
deficit?
difference between you.
In 2000
Democrats
wait a
want
second.
bigger government control.
In 2016, can you tell me around, you don't got to be perfect, what the deficit was in this country? Can you tell me what that number was?
Like the national debt?
Yes, the deficit. No, the deficit. The deficit, budget deficit in this country. Do
No,
you know
actually, no. Tell me.
It was around the $500 billion range. 400
2016.
to 500. Yes, 2016. Okay. That number is now 2.3 trillion.
Okay, so let's look at
1.8
the
trillion on the
factors of why
deficit,
that
2.3
happens.
trillion.
Let's
Yeah,
look at the
because
factors.
you guys went and signed in 2017 the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, which ballooned the deficit. It continued. It was a long piece of legislation. It continued throughout Biden's presidency.
Okay, yep,
That
there's a
same
big
thing,
thing. There's,
you just
like-
went and approved, literally to extend those same tax cuts to now add $3.4 trillion to national debt. My whole point about why I'm talking about this is because Doge did not go and do the things that it promised. It said that it was going to cut spending. It didn't happen. I think that you conservatives should just own up to the fact that it was a failure.
Okay, say
Pause, you've been voted out. Thank you.
Oh, hey, yo, I said she was NPC. Like I think in the last video, my fucking mistake. She's in there now. She in there like swimwear. Let's see what we got.
What's up?
Jessica.
Good to see you.
Okay, so I think Doge didn't do as much as we wanted it to do, and I think part of it had to do with the fact that Elon Musk had to be out of the office in 120 days in the administration because he wasn't a government employee. I think part of that also has to do with the fact that
So why couldn't you make him a government employee? I totally forget the reasons. So in the comments, let me know. But why couldn't he become a government employee? And the other thing too is, like I said, like he was saying earlier, day one, Trump wanted to like cut everything in half and shit, right? I'm pretty sure if you control the entirety of the government, you could probably get that done in around the time Elon being there. I would assume. Hey, what do I know? I'm just a black man in a blue shirt.
Biden increased to almost 1.9, but $2 trillion.
We're back. The bipartisan committee for a responsible budget estimates that in his 4 years, Biden approved $4.7 trillion in a new 10-year debt through legislation and executive actions, more than half of which was tied to COVID-19 recovery. Okay, hold on.
That Biden increased to almost 1.9, but $2 trillion in our national debt, and he was the one who printed 40% of the dollars circulating in America.
The Federal Reserve is responsible for printing money. It's unclear what statistic the person is attempting to cite. According to Fed, currency in circulation increased nearly 2.3 billion from June 2020 to June 2021, crossing Trump and Biden administrations. Wait, so he increased like the circulation, so he increased the amount of money like that we could get in general? Like I don't
Right now in 2022, which created more inflation, which created more spending in our government. We're spending and paying for people to have transgender balls in places like Europe and,
Where is that happening?
it's so crazy that they'll mention like, hey, we're spending here, here, and here, and here. It's like, okay, that's what we tend to do. But what about in the U.S. with Doge? Let's circle back to that. Like, and the thing is like, there's wasteful spending, but there's wasteful spending in the shit that y'all agree with too. So what are we on about?
well, it's not happening anymore because we cut
was that?
USAID.
Oh, god damn it. USAID, before it was defunded, funded several LGBTQ, hate that word, IA plus initiatives in European countries, something that was criticized by the Trump administration. Okay.
Well, it was happening.
Where?
I can't remember the exact country, but I know
You
that
don't know the country, but you say that it's happening?
it happened. Is what
Yeah.
While the Paris ballroom scene has been featured as the new hotspot for the European LGBT community, there is no clear evidence that it was funded by U.S. tax dollars. Oh, so we don't even know if the U.S. in taxes paying for that shit. We just know, hey, Biden did something for Europe that's LGBT related. That's bad. That I got you.
Happened?
It did happen. Yeah.
Where? I don't think that.
I'm
that
sure when
happened.
you rewatch it, you can.
That
look at
didn't
the-
happen.
It did happen. It did happen. Yeah, we had funding for things that are outside of the country, for transgender balls, transgender
Transgender
plays,
balls.
transgender balls. Yes, they exist,
Okay.
as well as condoms for places like in the Middle East.
Do you know why that is?
Why we paid for condoms for other countries?
Yeah. Do you know why that is?
Go ahead and tell me.
To prevent the spread of AIDS.
Well, maybe they should. What to prevent the spread
Don't
of AIDS?
you think that if we can prevent the spread of AIDS, that helps the world?
I think that we
and
should
Americans
probably-
in this country.
I think that financially.
Because I would say that something that can spread across borders, something like AIDS, keeping that down is a really
Well,
good
it
thing
doesn't
for
spread
America.
across borders if we keep the people
Really?
who aren't supposed to be here out of our
People don't get on
country.
planes and travel. So someone doesn't go visit. So an American citizen doesn't go to a place that in the Middle East, like you're describing, and then come back to America. That doesn't happen. So preventing the spread of AIDS in their countries can help us prevent the spread in our country.
Why don't we?
the world
Why don't we not pay for other countries' health care and we pay for our health care, considering our health care because of Obamacare just this year is about to spike because it got pushed off artificially.
Okay, so let me get this straight. So you don't want to help people around the world, even though that's what we all just want to do in general. You don't want to do that because we need to focus at home. Okay, that's great. So let's focus on the healthcare system in America. Awesome. So why aren't we though? Once again, y'all have all the power right now for these 4 years. You could definitely do something about healthcare. Why aren't we doing something about that? And two, if someone does like let's say someone from America goes outside the country, comes back, and they have AIDS, and then the AIDS gets spread, it still has something to do with the healthcare in this country. Like, we're so fixated on helping everybody in the world that when something doesn't go right or something feels like wasteful spending, like y'all just want to pick and choose which one to do it for, when you should be saying that across the board, both for domestic and international, but y'all don't. Y'all just want to choose like specific ones that you disagree with, even if it's only slightly, and say like, this was bad that they spend it on this.
By the Biden administration. He artificially pushed off a lot of things.
I'm sure we could talk about healthcare till we're blue in the face, right? But that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the fact that Doge.
You think we should prioritize paying for condoms in other countries?
You approved more dollars to national debt than any other president in the history of this country. Congratulations. You
I didn't
increased
do
the deficit.
anything.
Well, that's what Donald Trump did. That's what the Republicans you voted for did. The reality
Do you know how much it increased under Biden? $900 billion.
Doge was
$900 billion.
If Doge was to exist to go and cut spending for the American people, that did not happen. And might I remind you, if you want to go talk about the amount of debt approved by each president, Donald Trump approved during his whole term $8.4 trillion. If you want to talk about what he approved when Trump's...
Hold up. According to the June 2024 Committee for a Responsible Federal Budget Analysis, Trump approved $8.4 trillion of the new 10-year borrowing during his full term in office, or $4.8 trillion excluding the CARES Act and other COVID relief. So he actually doubled it, because I think the other stat said that Biden did it for like 4.7. So him doing it for 8.4 in the same like 10-year thing that he approved for, because you got to remember the other fact said that Biden approved of a 10-year one, which excluded COVID, and it was 4.8. But, and I think it was like, she said it was like 1 point some odd. She wasn't very clear, obviously, because even the fact checker said that. What 1 point some odd of that was like COVID. This guy spent double on the 10-year thing, and literally triple if you exclude COVID.
Without COVID-related spending, that's about $4.8 trillion within his first term. Joe Biden approved $4 trillion total, $2.4 trillion of which happened of non-COVID related.
The same report found Biden approved 4.3. Okay, yeah, this is... Okay, so wait, it did move on to the second one. Okay, I didn't think that they would do that. So, hold on. So, Trump 8.4, Biden 4.3 trillion. And they're both like in a new 10-year borrowing thing, right? And then when you exclude it, it's 2.2 for COVID. And that wasn't even his full term. So in less than a year, Trump doubles it. In comparison to Biden over him being nearly 4 years.
Spending. The result of it, it doesn't matter what you're talking about because Joe Biden approved half the amount of debt than your savior, Donald Trump, did.
I don't consider him
That's
my
a
savior.
fact.
Jesus Christ is my savior. Let's make that clear. Okay. Donald Trump, I don't think Donald Trump is a Republican personally. I think he's a Democrat and he's
now he's a Democrat. Oh, okay.
Yeah, he always has
been. It's news for me.
Really? Maybe
he just ran for president as a Republican, 3 times? He's
to win. To win.
So he's not a Republican, but he ran as a Republican?
What has he spent his whole life doing?
He's literally, so people can't change?
People can't change?
So you're now saying that Donald Trump is not a Republican. That's news to me.
Yeah, I don't
think that would be
think he is
news
a
for
Republican.
the majority of Americans that are watching him literally just run for president as a Republican 3 times.
You can register as a Republican because you can win as a Republican. He's openly said, I would register as an independent, but I'm not an independent and I won't win as one. Or do you think that they're just trying to
that it's alarming
win?
to me that we're now in 2025 and your argument is about whether or not Trump is a real
That's
Republican.
not my
because
argument.
You're trying to deflect from the fact that Trump
I'm
didn't
not
do what he
deflecting.
said he was going to do with Doge. If you promise to go cut $2 trillion worth of spending and that does not happen, that's something that you have to be held accountable for.
That.
When you run on
the YouTuber guy, I think it's Def Noodles. Now I was trying to think of what his name was the whole time, but especially because the previous videos he was up here. He's going to come up here again.
An idea of cutting $200 billion worth,
I see it.
That's something that you have to answer for. And for the millions of people in this country that actually thought that you guys were going to deliver them Doge checks, they're going to be waiting for it because you're not going to actually do it.
I don't think a lot of people expected that because, Trump isn't Biden who is handing out $2,000 to people for sitting at home.
That never happened.
Or, saying you don't have to, I got a check.
Oh, you're talking about this? You're talking about the
stimulus check
that Trump also gave?
I don't agree with stimulus checks. So what are you talking about?
What are you talking? Because Doge made these promises about a Doge check. What are you talking about?
Doge made the promises about a Doge check?
Yes, Elon made these promises.
Okay, well, Elon's
and
not my president. Elon's not my president.
Donald Trump also said that he would support that as well. What are you talking about?
If it was available. He said he would support it.
Oh, if it was available? That's what it is now?
Yes.
What's so funny about this whole thing,
Okay, give me a laugh.
what conservatives do is that you guys can never take personal responsibility.
Says the people,
You can't do it.
I'm really sorry, but I can't hear that from the side of the aisle that is pro-choice, who can't even take accountability.
You'll do anything to
This man is a better man than me because at this point, I would just be talking shit.
distract from Doge. You'll do anything to distract. Because that's what we're talking about.
Okay.
You've tried to move the conversation a million different places, but the facts is that you cannot answer for the fact that you didn't go cut the spending that you're talking about. And the government of the United States is spending more money than it did last year. That's a fact that you can't run out of. So I
guess I wouldn't know the exact number.
So
why don't you enlighten me?
So we didn't decrease.
What's the exact number?
The
Can you tell
national
me?
debt's going up by $2.3 trillion, the deficit 1.8. You don't even know.
But that was already projected to do so. Even before Trump was in office, economists said we were going to go into recession and we were going too high in our spending. It was already happening.
So
and
you
things
ran
that
a
are happening
campaign on cutting spending.
I didn't run any campaign. And things that are happening right now, inflation takes
Bitch, no shit, you didn't. Your party said that they were going to cut spending. That was y'all. Once again, wording, guys. Wording. If we say a thing, we have to stand on that thing. If you word it a different way where it's more unsure, but this is what I want to do, no one could say that you said you were going to because you didn't say you were going to. You said this was your plan or this is what was happening. Wording, guys. Wording.
12.
We're talking about Doge and spending.
I'm
what are you talking
about the price. You're the one who brought in the amount of spending we're doing this year. And honestly,
because that's what the argument that we're talking about is. You can't deflect from this.
I'm not
You're
deflecting.
spending more
I'm
money
showing
than
you.
what
Everything that's happening now.
Hey, raise the flags up higher because she doesn't know what the fuck she's talking about, bro. When she finally wants to come up, one of the worst performances
in our economy is because of the pushback.
We're talking about Doge.
Okay,
Stay focused.
Pause. We're out of time.
Oh, what was that? Was that my computer or was that just the video?
Time on this one. Thank you.
Okay, ran out of time. So, anyway, that was Claim 3, Part 3. Next video, Part 4. Thanks for people who came. Thanks for people who didn't. I'll catch y'all when I catch y'all.